Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. Today we go over the buy hold sell for Gameweek 3. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. If you haven't already, check out some of the other Gameweek 3 content that we've put out so far, and with that being said, let's jump into the video. So today we're going to have a look at 2 buy options, 2 hold options and 2 sell options to assist you guys with your transfer planning for the upcoming game week. Starting off with the buy options, the first player here is Rodrigo from Leeds, who is coming off a double-digit return in Game Week 2 and is looking to be an excellent value option in the middle of the park. The Leeds midfielder is coming in at £6.1 million and is currently the highest scoring player in FPL after the first 2 weeks, amassing 22 points as he scored 3 goals for Leeds. I've really liked the positions that he's been taking up and he's got very good underlying numbers to show for his returns as well. Amongst all players, he has the 5th highest expected goals over the first 2 games and 2nd highest XG amongst midfielders with 1.44. His XA is also fairly solid at 0.3 and he does have a very high expected FPL points of 15.77. His expected FPL points figure does rank 2nd amongst all players across the first 2 games, only behind Pascal Gross. So I definitely think with Leeds' excellent upcoming fixtures, aside from Chelsea at home in Game Week 3, he could really capitalise on those goals and get even more returns, as after Game Week 3 he faces Brighton, Everton, Brentford and Forest. Looking to the second buy option, it is another midfielder in Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli has recently seen a price rise up to £6.2 million, and I wouldn't be surprised if his price rises even further, as his ownership is sitting around 30% currently. In his 2 games, he's got himself 2 goals, taking 3 shots on, 2 of which has been on target, and attempting a very high 5 assists there as well. I've really liked his other underlying numbers, as amongst midfielders so far, he has the 3rd highest expected goal stat of 0.89, and his expected assist figure of 0.44 also ranks very high. His 16 FPL points so far make him the 4th highest scoring midfielder, and he's definitely one that if you don't have in the squads, I would seriously consider bringing him in due to Arsenal's excellent upcoming fixtures. They do face 2 out of the 3 promoted sides in the next 2 games, being Bournemouth and Fulham, and then in Game Week 5 they've got Aston Villa at home, which is a very good fixture as well. So I just think with these excellent next 3 games, it's impossible not to have this man in the side. There has been a lot of managers moving on the likes of Leon Bailey in midfield, so if you are looking for an upgrade around £6 million in that position, I've really liked Rodrigo and Martinelli, as for me they're the best players at this price tag. Progressing on to the hold options, these are a couple of players that have been significantly transferred out by managers, but we would recommend holding on to these options as they still have good points potential over the coming game weeks. Bukayo Saka is the first hold option on their list, as he is the 6th most transferred out player coming into Game Week 3, with 130,000 managers moving him out. I can see the frustration with him, as at £8 million he did blank in Game Week 2 with just the 2 points, despite Arsenal putting 4 past Leicester. He still was able to provide an assist in Game Week 1 against Crystal Palace, so he's still averaging a decent 4 points per game, as he's amassed 8 points over his first 2 matches. As we touched on with Martinelli, Arsenal have some excellent fixtures coming up, with Bournemouth, Fulham and Villa being the next 3 opponents, so despite Saka not scoring in Game Week 2, I would expect him to return to the score sheet in these 3 games. We did see lots of managers transfer out those Arsenal assets in Game Week 1, with Jesus being one of the more popular players to depart the squads, but we did see what he produced in Game Week 2, so I would encourage managers to do a similar thing here with Saka and hold on to him and keep the faith, as I'm sure he will reward you with these good fixtures. Saka has actually taken the 2nd most amount of shots in that Arsenal side with 4, only behind Gabriel Jesus, and has also attempted the 2nd most assists in their side over the first 2 games with 3. So he is definitely getting very involved in the attack with an XG of 0.17 and an XA of 0.26. So for now I think he's a strong hold option, as I would expect him to get those returns back in the next 3 games. The second hold option that we've got here is Alexander Mitrovic, who despite missing a penalty in Game Week 2 and scoring -1 points, we still believe could be a good option, as he is getting plenty of chances to score. Despite this -1 point score in Game Week 2, Mitrovic is still the 4th highest scoring forward, with all 3 players above him being more expensive. So at £6.6 million at the moment, I do think Mitrovic is a solid value option in that forward line, and if you are currently an owner of the man, I wouldn't move him out after just 1 bad week. The good thing with him is he's getting lots of chances to score, as he's now had 2 penalties in his first 2 games, and of course he's getting plenty of chances throughout the match as well, highlighted by his good XG figure. Amongst all players in the game, Mitrovic has the 2nd highest expected goals of 1.71, only behind Erling Haaland with 1.85. Also, his XA figure is very good of 0.43, especially for forwards, and his expected FPL points is very high with 15.13. This stat also ranks second amongst forwards, once again only behind the likes of Erling Haaland, so considering that Mitrovic is nearly half of his price, he is still a good value pick. Also amongst all players this season, Mitrovic has taken the 4th most amount of shots with 7, 3 of which have been on target, and he's also attempted 2 assists as well. So I do think with these really good underlying numbers and the high amount of chances that he's getting, I'm sure it won't take long before those goals start to roll in once more. Mitrovic also has some decent upcoming fixtures, as he's got Brentford at home in Gameweek 3, Arsenal away in Gameweek 4 is a bit difficult, but then Brighton at home once more again in Gameweek 5 could provide some joy for that Fulham striker. Next up is the sell options, starting off here with Leon Bailey. There has been a lot of frustration around this man over the first 2 weeks, as he did blank in Game Week 1 and then came off the bench for just around 15 minutes in Game Week 2. He actually nearly did provide an assist in this game, but ended up with just the 1 point. So this has meant over the first 2 fixtures, he's just picked up the 3 points, and obviously you want to be getting a player that's going to be starting in the future, and I don't think Bailey will be in this case, as Buendia was very solid off the bench for Aston Villa in Game Week 2, as I would expect a similar starting formation to be played in Game Week 3, which would see Bailey sit on the bench. There is definitely a couple of other good options emerging around Bailey's price point, as you could downgrade him to the very popular De Silva at the moment at 4.6, or you could go to even more expensive to either Martinelli or Rodrigo at around that 6 million price tag. You could even look at the likes of Aronson from Leeds, as he's been very impressive and has good upcoming fixtures. So I just think with Aston Villa's poor fixture turn and Bailey's lack of starting minutes, he's probably not a good pick anymore. He hasn't had the greatest underlying stats with a very low XG of just 0.04, and with the fixtures of Crystal Palace away in Game Week 3 followed up by West Ham, Arsenal and Man City, I don't really see too many attacking returns for their forwards in this time. Looking to his teammate in Coutinho, it's yet another Aston Villa player here, as his ownership has dropped significantly since the start of the season, as it's now sitting at 12.1%. Coutinho's price has actually dropped to £6.9 million as well, and could potentially drop further as he's one of the most transferred up players this week. In fact, he is the most popular player to depart the squads, with 300,000 managers already transferring him out. Coutinho did record 0 points in Game Week 2 and actually picked up a slight injury there as well, so we'll have to see whether he starts in Game Week 3 or not, as Buendia was extremely impressive when he subbed on for him off the bench, so Coutinho could potentially drop to the bench for the coming game weeks. His underlying stats haven't been very promising, with a very low XG of 0.05 and an even lower XA of 0.04. He's just not really getting into those good attacking positions or getting involved in that Aston Villa attack. And once again, as we touched on with Bailey, Villa don't have the best upcoming fixtures. I doubt he'll start in Game Week 3 against Crystal Palace away, and then West Ham, Arsenal and Man City as the next 3 after that definitely do provide their challenges from an attacking standpoint for Villa. So as we've discussed previously, with those good buy options of Martinelli and Rodrigo, or even Aronson there from Leeds, plus a bunch of options at £7 million as well, and even more options at £8 million in the midfield, I just think Coutinho's not worth the money right now. Thanks for watching today's video. If you guys want to become a channel member, then click the join button down below and get featured on the members board at the end of the videos, just like Philip Ash here. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel, and click the notification bell. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.